Welcome to Busy Little Bee, where opinions sting, but the vibes stay sweet. Let the mayhem swing, let the vibes stay sweet. Let the mayhem sting, but the vibes stay sweet. Then subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the buzz.
Hey everybody, it's Busy Little Bee. Welcome back to my channel. This is our first episode, our first edition of Messy Monday. Every Monday I'll be looking at a messy situation happening in girl world or the wider internet at large, and we'll be talking about it. Today, of course, we're going to be talking about the whole Rachel drama and the community's reaction, because I think it's varying opinions. Some people are not upset, some people are very upset, some people don't give a crap. But I think that Rachel kind of put herself in this position when she took the moral high ground on everything, demanded accountability from Amber Lynn, a complete stranger, for things that she did in her relationship. I don't want to morally grandstand is the thing, because it seems like that's what these people do. They get on here and they act like like Rachel, for example, has a philosophy degree, and so she tries to approach things with a very rational point of view, but behind the scenes she's a whole different person. So we're going to see just a few things from her Discord, but mainly, like I said, I want to focus on the community's reaction. We're going to be looking at her comment sections on her recent videos. She has not addressed any of this yet. She has simply continued uploading. Yesterday, she uploaded a glitter and lasers reaction and talked about how Anna, glitter and lasers, wasn't being ethical in the way she sourced her. I don't remember. It was something about the ethics. And I thought, this bitch did not just have the nerve to bring up ethics when she was paying a feeder for tea and flirting with said feeder, who is Amber Lynn's ex-girlfriend, for tea, according to her. I don't know. It was just a lot. Just, this is why my personal thing is like, don't touch the poo, because you always end up covered in shit. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at all the screenshots I got, shall we? By the way, her social blade is, ay, it's not looking good. She's losing subscribers quickly. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so let's start with a little history lesson. Now, I don't know what exactly happened because I didn't watch Rachel 5 months ago, but I saw this on her community tab and thought, oh, she's had, controversies about her videos and privating them and stuff before. So let's read this. She says, "Hi everyone, I've just privated my recent video. I realize this is very much too little too late. I got blinded by how badly I wanted everyone to know what Amber had allegedly done, which was stupid and misguided with hindsight. Thanks everyone for your constructive comments. The toothpaste is out of the tube now, and hiding the video is not an effective method of stopping the information getting shared. But you guys are right that I should never have posted it. Edited to add, for anyone who is worried about me profiting from this, I understand. I'll post receipts of me donating the AdSense to a DV charity. My YouTube analytics will update tonight and I'll share this soon. Now, as far as I know, I believe she did a video that showed the receipts of her donating to this charity. But again, it was only after she was called out by her audience. So now let's get into some more community tab posts. This next post is from October 23rd, and that's a very important date as far as the Discord messages go. Rachel says, "Hi all. Emily has withdrawn consent for her voice to be used on my channel. To avoid any future issues or privacy concerns, I have privated my previous video. Many thanks for the continued support of my channel." So this is the first screenshot that I've seen from the Discord. And If you look, it says October 23rd, 2025. Jawbone said, genuinely considering reaching out to Emily. That kind of money would change my life. Rachel said, I feel like if people knew, they would be a lot more understanding. Ha ha. This other person says, I doubt it. I think those with the hump just like to have the hump. Rachel said, they will anyway when they see the donation. That video made $3,600 so far. So I will be forced to out myself. Ha ha. And then Rachel said, I simp for money, literally. Did people think I was going to get the best tea in Girl World for months and not have to get a bit muddy? Ha ha ha. Now, if it was just that, who cares? You know what I mean? Like, whatever, dude. You do you. It gets worse. I don't think she committed a crime against humanity here, but I just think it's gross. Hecticana says, so are you going to give the money to Beck? The comments were pretty overwhelmingly in favor of that. Rachel said, I don't think so, TBH. Feels wrong. I can't explain why, but I can see how it's a huge fuck you to them both. So I can see the appeal. I might do a poll and then blame it on that. I don't know. You're gonna blame your audience? I'm trying to reserve my opinions in this video, but it's hard. She continues, but the poll would be Beck, so I've got time to think on it. If I do a charity, I can write it off on my taxes. Haha. Someone says, I think that's the best, TBH. Someone else says, I didn't understand why people even suggested it until I reread the statement a second time. But from both an accounts and moral POV, I think a charity with a registered charity number is best. Rachel says, I don't know why. Yeah, I lean this way also. But there is something satisfying and petty about giving it to Beck. Haha. I'll think about it. Rachel says she sent me a video of her smoking, speaking about Emily. Someone said, that's weird. Jawbone said, ooh, that feels like her dipping her toe into video calling. Rachel said, I flirted a little, not gonna lie, I wanted the tea. Someone said, delicious cancer stick in an ashtray mouth, delicious. Rachel said, I got a bit uncomfortable, not gonna lie, I'm a big old flirt and she took the bait. But that's how I got the tea, so... Jawbone said, it's okay to fancy Emily, be honest with us, we listen and we don't judge. Rachel said, shrug, I'll show you the smoking video tomorrow. Jawbone said, Rachel, I'm not suggesting you watch it as it's pointless, but Jordy has said that you offering to pay in exchange for tea is not a big deal and isn't sure what the fuss is about. So that should clear the air a bit for you. Fair play to him. Rachel said, love that from Jordy. Jawbone said, you're really not being publicly hanged, drawn, and quartered, diva. Rest easy. Rachel said, if Jordy says it's alright, then I'm off the hook, teehee. I'll wipe my tears with banknotes. Now, before we move on to Rachel's next community tab post, let's see what Emily said to Rachel that made Rachel do this community tab post. It's annoying that there's no date on this, but there's no date on this. It says, Rachel, I need to be very clear about how wrong this is. I shared my personal story and details with you under the agreement that I would be compensated. That was part of the understanding from the start, and you assured me multiple times that I would be. I also made it clear that without that agreement, it would not be worth it for me to share something so personal and painful. You went forward, used my story publicly, and then decided after the video was posted to take that agreement back. That is not acceptable. You shared private information about me under a false sense of trust and benefit. This is not about speculation or donations. It's about ethics and respect. Ooh, imagine being told that by a feeder. You profited from my vulnerability and are now trying to frame it as something else. I'm asking you to take accountability and make it right. It is clear you are worried about how this might affect your image and reputation if people found out you paid me. But what would actually look worse than agreeing to pay me and then ... So we didn't get any more than this. This is all Rachel provided. Now let's take a look at her community post. This could be a breach of contract case. But, you know, it's also girl bullshit. So let's go ahead and look at Rachel's community tab post. Trying to get ahead of the story. This community tab post is from October 25th, 2025. Hey guys, I am exposing my own fuck up below for transparency. Yeah, transparency. Obviously, there was a fair bit of context which I left out of my last post after I privated my last video with Emily's voice note. Basically, Emily gave me the voice note screenshots and a clip, which I ended up not using. It was not the Rage video. And I had consent to use them with no strings attached. Prior to this, Emily had told me some pretty damning information about Amber owing her lots of money for the trip they took where Emily drove Amber home. I wanted the receipts for this pretty bad, but I didn't think it was something Emily would be super keen on sharing, so I very stupidly offered Emily that if she was willing to give me these receipts, I would split the AdSense on that separate finance-related video on her. Later, once the voice note video was well underway, Emily asked me if we could just split the AdSense from the voice note video instead of the finance one, as she felt it made no difference. I, again stupidly, said yes, thinking, well, we were going to split the finance video anyway, so it really makes no difference if we just split this one instead. It is essential to note that Emily had already given me consent to use the voice note prior to this rearrangement of which video would be split. She also never sent me the finance receipts she had mentioned. She did not let me use the voice note because of any money. She had already said yes to this, and then the agreement was transferred. I then became very suspicious that Emily and Amber were talking again. Amber deleted her lives, posted that statement, and it was clear that Emily and Amber were not done with each other. I thought, despite her shitty character, that receipts coming from Emily were still valuable, and showing these did not mean I was defending her. However, it became clear to me that my good intentions were being taken for granted, that Emily did not just want to provide receipts, but in fact she viewed my videos as payback to Amber for their own personal dramas. I was not comfortable being used as a pawn in their wider game. I therefore decided that there was no way on earth that I was going to pay this person to make me look like a mug. I told her as much. I told her I would happily donate this portion to charity instead, so that I would not benefit from the decision. She got very angry, suddenly blamed my video for her being harassed, despite having been okay with it prior. She did not want the money to go to charity. She wanted to be paid. She tried to make it sound like she had not given me consent to use the voice note already. She had, and I can prove it. And she gave me an ultimatum to pay her or take my video down. This continues on, but you get the story, right? Like, basically, things were turning sour with Emily. And as we saw, Rachel was flirting with her, so was she really mad that she was being used as a pawn, or was she mad that Emily was giving Amber Lynn attention? I don't know, it's just all so messy. But what I really wanted to comment on and look at was the community's response, because to me that's what's important. What the viewers are thinking. I wanted to show this one because in her Discord she was kind of talking shit on reaction channels. Another weird part about this is Rachel has been very open that she has a partner and she's a lesbian. Charlie put this up yesterday and said, did Rachel really tell Emily that her and her partner sleep in separate rooms? Is that part of the blueprint to getting tea? LMAO. After Amber Lynn did her post shading Rachel, calling her Lord Farquaad, Rachel posted this on her Instagram. She said, I just read Amber's bedtime story to the missus and she loved it. See, this is what's bad. She hasn't responded on her community tab. She hasn't made a video. She hasn't even talked about it in her video that she has done since all this came out. Like I said, now we're going to start looking at the comments. First, I started taking screenshots of comments that were on her video. This was right before her Glitter and Lasers video came out. So once that came out, I started getting screenshots from the comments there too, because people are not playing in her comments right now. So let's go ahead and take a look. These first two comments are from the same user. Profiting off someone else's toxic, abusive relationship and laughing about it, saying you'll use banknotes to dry your tears, makes you just as bad as ALR. So, donating to charity as a tax write off doesn't actually absolve you of your wrongdoings, Rachel. You're speedrunning the reactor to lolcow pipeline. I've seen that sentiment shared a lot. So, is the money going to charity or to Beck? Trying to figure out if you're a liar like Amber after seeing the way you talk about your viewers on Discord. Was ethics not taught as part of that philosophy degree? Another comment says, new screenshots, you'll wipe your tears with banknotes? Seriously, what the fuck is wrong with you? Someone else says, address the issues people have with your I fucked up posts and the Discord messages. LOL. You're done, weirdo. Go right off the donation on your taxes. Get off your high horse and enjoy being a ridicule in girl world. If I do charity, I can write it off on my taxes, haha. Clown. So, are you still donating out of pettiness, even though you can't write it off on your taxes? You clearly have a weight issue too, so you are in no position to weight shame anyone. 240 pounds? You are obese. You say her weight is the least interesting thing about her, yet you call her huge in other videos. What about you flirting with Emily? You are deflecting. As someone said, ALR should use your degree as a washcloth. Oh my god. You're no better than the lol cows. Damn. Hello, it's heavy said, your tea was lukewarm. I can name 3 reactors right now off the top of my head who could have got the same info for 0 money or flirt. So pull your head out, girl. It's embarrassing. P.S. You're not in on the joke. You are the joke. This is in reference to her putting that Lord Farquaad thing on her Instagram. The only part about this that really bothers me personally is the fact that this gave Amber a reason to be even more smug than she already is. And in her live last night, she grouped all reaction channels in with Rachel as if everyone would be willing to sink that low for quote unquote tea. That's not true, and it's really annoying when she groups people in like that, but that's part of Amber's black and white thinking. So this video came out yesterday, November 2nd, and it's glitter and lasers keeps buying clothes. I keep hating them. She doesn't mention any of this in this video, but let's go ahead and take a look at the comment section. One commenter says, when you gaze into the abyss. Another one said, bro, you were deleting comments. What a clown. Another user says, are you gaining for the feeder? And next, yeah, after seeing you admitting to flirting with Emily, you lost all credibility and you will never get my support. You should have been pushed off the platform after the first time you messed up. Oof. These viewers see things differently. Why can nobody in these comments take a joke, LMAO? Never that deep. You guys are acting like she offed her cat just because she made a joke about money. Someone else says, I don't know why y'all are mad at Rachel. This entire community is hot trash. Who is anyone to be above any of this? And in my opinion, that's the problem, is Rachel has put herself out there as being above all the drama and being better. And why can't Amber take accountability? But yet here she is dodging accountability at every chance she has. Last one. Mate, you're a bottom feeder. Vote with the sub button, people. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at that. Now we're going to look at Rachel's social blade. First, I'm going to look at how many subs she lost on November 2nd, and then we'll take a look at today's stats so far. This is Rachel's social blade. Holy shit, she's already down to 62k subs. So she lost about 500 or so the week before. Then yesterday on the 2nd, yep, there's about 500 from the last week. Then yesterday, 1.1k. Today, she's already lost almost 3,000 subs in one day. This is not going well, and in my opinion, it's her lack of accountability and her inability to address the elephant in the room. So basically, Rachel's started off saying, you know, I have a philosophy degree. I'm here to have fun, to snark a little, to have some laughs. And now it's gone to where she's flirting with the feeder while she has a partner. It's really hypocritical how she talked down on Erica, that Valentine, for trolling Amber by flirting with her and stuff like that. Well, you just did the same thing with Emily for tea, right? So, I don't know. It's always hypocrisy with these people. It's so wild, but I don't think this is like some major crime against humanity. I just think it shows a lack of transparency. It shows a lack of caring for your audience. It shows a lack of morals and ethics, in my opinion. This isn't the New York fucking Times. Like, we shouldn't be paying for interviews, but I guess do you. At the end of the day, everyone is welcome to run their channel how they want. Obviously, this isn't working out real well for Rachel right now. What do you guys think? Please don't forget to hit that like button, hype it up if you can, and share if you liked the video. Anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you all have a lovely day. And I will see you on Wednesday for Weird News Wednesday.
Welcome to Busy Little Bee, where opinions sting, but the vibes stay sweet. Let the band swing, let the vibes stay sweet. Let the band sting, but the vibes stay sweet. Then subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the buzz.